So, who are you and where are you from?
I am Todd, and I am from Naples, Florida.
All right. And what do you do?
I have a shutter company, plantation shutter company. It's actually not far from here. The showroom is there, and our factory's in Fort Myers.
Very good. Wow. And has the climate changed much since you were a kid?
Well, it changed once I moved from Ohio down to Florida. Yeah, definitely a big change in the weather.
But you've been
Much
here in
warmer.
Naples
I've been
like
here,
a long time.
Been here since 1980.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've gotten to see a little bit of some of the climate, a little bit of climate change. You would always get, when I first moved down here, and they would say, oh, a hurricane's coming, and you go and prep for it, and nothing happened. So, but in recent years, sometimes they stacked up. I mean, there was I think we had Charlie, 3 storms in a row.
Charlie and Ian was last year.
No, Charlie, there was 3 of them during that Charlie stage.
Yeah.
It was almost every other weekend that a hurricane was hitting. And then it's kind of dwindled off, but now we've been hit. Naples has been hit pretty hard with the hurricanes. The first big one to really hit, and I wasn't even born yet, was 1960, was Donna. And Donna was the big one, and I think that the Ian we just have gone through is pretty much probably equal to what that was, where the water just came up and water just took over everything. So, spoke with the gentleman, a year or 2 ago at a diner, and he actually went through Donna, and he was explaining how the water came up, from the Gulf, came across. I'm going to reach back in and point back here. It's Goodlet Road. The water came across 41 and Goodlet and filled into, which is now behind you, holding the camera, the Gordon River. So it all became one big lake at that time, and that's what he told me. So we've seen one after another here recently, and
You think
I've
they're
been
getting
hit by the
more?
winds. I've been hit by winds, and I've been hit by water. I will tell you, give me the winds.
But you think it's changed because there are more hurricanes, or you think it's changed how, or the heat, or what? How's it changed since?
I would say, we live in Southwest Florida. I mean, the Everglades this year is full of water, and it's shallow water. It's the Gulf. It's more shallow water. So when you actually take all that into account, the sun heating up that water, it's a perfect storm for hurricanes. And I can also talk about Lake Okeechobee. Lake Okeechobee was dammed up in the 1870s, and Congress decided they were going to dam the thing up, and where they're going to build communities. Well, it just became sugar, and the sugar fields. So what happens is that water is sitting in ditches. And in the Everglades, the water it's a perfect storm for when these storms start to come around, around Cuba, around the peninsula of Florida, and they heat up.
And what about on an everyday basis? Do you worry about climate? Say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most concerned, where would you put yourself?
Honestly, I'm not drastically concerned, on a daily basis. No, not at all. In fact, I enjoy our storms. Our afternoon storms are the best. You get to feel the nature at its best. The winds and kicking up, and the rains, and watching the trees, flow back and forth. Awesome to watch. I love the afternoon storms.
And then what about the future? Are you an optimist or a pessimist? And is there anything we can do about it?
I'm an optimist. I don't know if there's much we can do, honestly. I mean, we can, what can we do? It's God's nature, at its best. So how do you think you can change it? We can't stop a storm coming in. It's been going on for years. And years and years and years, and So how do we know? I don't think we can change it. I think we can be better stewards of where we live and in our space, but I don't think we can change it.
Very good. Here on the 27th of August in Naples, Florida. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As often happens, I ask a final question right after the interview that turns out to be so insightful, and but gets an insightful answer. You have had flooding in your condo last year, and this year there is another hurricane coming, but it looks like it's going to go north of us. And you said you're not worried about this one or future ones, but you're getting, well, I don't want to paraphrase. How do you feel about these hurricanes?
You learn from each storm and each hurricane, and you learn to actually prepare differently, for each one. And at that point in time, you realize you gain more knowledge from going through the hurricanes.
So you've raised all your electronics.
Yeah, raising my electronics. I mean, I lost my e-bike. They got fried. It was on L.A. I. We just had to take off. We didn't have a choice. The water was coming up. We live on a canal that's right off of the creek. It goes into the Bay of Naples, and the water came up so fast, like you couldn't even explain it. It had already crested the canal, and it was already heading. I was the last one to leave our little condo association, 12 units, and the water was already at my front step and coming up, and I only needed another 3 to 4 inches to get inside the house. Mm-hmm. And it became a lake. So I'd never seen that before. It was a lake.
So you're not concerned. I mean, you're
concerned. You're to be concerned. You still love the area. You still want to stay here. You want to live here, but you have to just be prepared for what can happen, and so you don't lose as much as you did before. We've had to gut it, and all new electricity, electric and wires and all kinds of stuff we've done. But we've also, during that, we've planned and prepared for another possible one coming in, hitting us.
And what about the insurance?
The insurance, we got a decent amount of our insurance, compared to some. But we had only been in the condo probably 5 years, and we had gutted it and fixed it up like new the first time. Now we just wanted to put it back in place what it looked like we wanted, in the beginning. We made all our
I
decisions.
understand the premiums around here are high.
They are, and we don't know where that's going to happen. Insurance, and actually before the storm, insurance companies were already canceling people's insurance before the storm. Ian, yes. So, how many people didn't have any insurance? That was canceled before. And a lot of insurance companies have pulled out of the state of Florida.
Very good. Hey, thank you very much.
You're welcome.